Ronaldo will also try to match that feat. Maybe he wouldn't get a hat-trick, he might get a brace. Then the other way around the following weekend, you notice that these guys have pushed themselves probably to their limits, and then it's only right for us to look for the someone or the heirs to the throne right now. So hopefully we'll get another duo to give us the kind of heated arguments that we've had as regards the Messi and Ronaldo era. Always good to be on Sports Bang.
Yeah, good morning to you, Blessing. Good morning to Faith. Good morning to our wonderful listener. Always good to be back here. I mean, well, it's been a very, very long year of fantastic, amazing football from these two guys, and we can only hope that one day they can actually last forever. One day they will actually come to the end of their career. But then the question is it that they are not actually doing well individually? Because when I still see them play, I still see some amazing performance from these guys. I mean, look at what Messi did yesterday. Despite the fact that they actually crashed out, he still scored a very fantastic
I missed the penalty.
I missed the penalty, which is not only him that misses the penalty.
I mean, I saw a tweet that said, you people refer to Ronaldo as Penaldo. If he is, he can't score him.
Messi is also Pessi.
That's true. That's true. You can actually say that again. But then I think looking at these guys individually, it's not showing that they want to slow down when it comes to their performance. But look at the quality of players that actually surround them. Look at the kind of managers that they've actually worked with. I mean, look at Ronaldo when he was at Madrid. I mean, we keep saying that he has actually pushed Madrid, he has actually carried them, but we've forgotten that they have the likes of Madrid that was in form at that particular time, Cruz that was actually at the top of his game, and Marcelo that was always running down the flags to actually draw all those assists. And of course, they have a very tactical Zidane that actually helped him, in bringing the best out of these guys. And of course, look at Messi too, when he was actually when they were actually, performing so well in the Champions League, he had players around him that could actually complement his hard work and all that. This is no longer the case at this point in time. I mean, yesterday, if Barcelona had someone like Prime Suarez in that game yesterday, I can bet you they would actually score.
Wasn't Griezmann supposed to come in and do that?
But has he been doing that? That's the question. Has he been doing that? He has not been doing it. So that asks a lot of questions about the quality of which these guys actually play with. Even Messi probably takes a leave and goes to a Manchester City. Who says he can't win the Champions League?
We can't continue to blame the people around them. As a matter of fact, their powers are winning. They are no longer as prolific.
The age is no longer
these guys.
We should look at
we remember the Messi that scored over 90 goals in a calendar year probably would have gotten Barcelona through yesterday.
Okay, a Ronaldo that did so well, they're always coming back in a Champions League, would have actually done the same against Porto. But
yeah, it's possible. That is what I'm saying, that their powers are actually dwindling. It's going down. It is normal. They don't produce the kind of results we've always known them for, the kind of fantastic, scintillating results. You will see these guys, they've been scoring over 50 goals for every season consecutively for how many years now, but they can no longer do that, which is normal. They are aging and it's meant to catch up with them. Age is catching up with them. So as much as we want to look at the quality around them, we also have to look at them. The powers are no longer there. We just have to say that.
Okay, let's move away from that real quick. Talk about other sporting stories before we get back into football. I'm starting with the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, where according to the IOC president, that's International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, is saying that a safe and secure Tokyo Olympics will happen this year. The German said it was no longer a question of whether the games would take place this summer, but how they would be held. The Olympics were postponed last summer, as you know, because of the coronavirus pandemic. And Bach was speaking after he was re-elected yesterday. He says, at this moment, we have no reason to doubt that the opening ceremony will take place on the 23rd of July. The question is not whether, the question is how these Olympic Games will take place. The IOC is working at full speed together with our Japanese partners and friends to make the postponed Olympic Games a safe manifestation of peace, solidarity, and the resilience of humankind in overcoming the pandemic. Our shared top priority is, and remains a safe and secure Olympic Games for everyone. And World Athletics President that's Sebastian Coe, said earlier this year that the Games may have to take place behind closed doors, while in January, the former chief executive of London 2012 Olympics said it was unlikely that the Tokyo Games would take place this summer. So according to IOC President Thomas Bach now, speaking after being re-elected yesterday, is that their priority is to have a safe and secure Olympics, but of course it won't be open to fans at this point. That's the report. Let's move away from that straight to golf. How is Tiger Woods doing? Well, we're getting updates from Rory McIlroy, who is saying that Tiger Woods is likely to return to his Florida home next week, and is still managing to give Rory McIlroy the heat from his hospital bed. Now, Woods remains at the Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in California following the surgery on the serious leg injuries he sustained in a car crash last month. The 45-year-old, remember, lost control of his SUV, which rolled a number of times across the ongoing carriageway before coming to rest on a grassy embankment. And Makaro revealed that Woods is doing better and thinks he will be able to return home next week to continue his lengthy rehabilitation with the help of his family. And moving out from there straight to Formula One. We're getting ready for the new Formula One season, and Ferrari have unveiled the car they hope to revive, that will revive their fortunes after their worst season in 40 years in 2020. Now, according to team boss Mattia Binotto, he said that the revised car was more efficient and the new engine more powerful after straight line speed proved their biggest weakness last year. Ferrari have concentrated on the rear of the car in search of performance. I'm seeing the expression on Ferrari's face all through. He's not confident about
They're always
Ferrari.
coming up with promises, and at the end of the day, they fail to deliver.
New cars at the end of the day, same.
This time it's going to be a different ball game. Maybe they would actually tend to challenge Mercedes, but then I think it's still actually left to be seen. I won't be convinced yet. I won't actually be casual with all this. When this season starts, when they actually get on the grid, let's see what your car can actually bring to the table.
Okay, that's what we're waiting to see, what exactly their car will bring to the table. It's all about the car and the driver as well. Let's move on to tennis. Roger Federer is back, and he defeated Britain's Don Evans in his comeback after 14 months out through injury, but said he has not played pain-free. The 20-time Grand Slam winner, who is 39-year-old, won 7-6, 3-6, 7-5 to reach the Qatar Open quarterfinals in Doha. He had not played competitively since January 2020 after 2 knee surgeries, and he says it feels good to be back. It is good to be standing here regardless of whether I won or lost. It's great fun. That's according to Federer. And I see many fans of Federer were really, really excited to see him back on court yesterday. And away from that, let's come home to Nigeria, talking about the Principals Cup. We're having the state finals. Many states are trying to wrap up their the competition in-house before we go to the national stage. And for your state, this is in football. Brightview College have zoomed to the finals of the Your State National Principal Cup at the expense of ICAS School. In the second match held at the school field of Aberdeen Primary School UI, Brightview College efforts paid off as they eventually scored a late goal in the 88th minute of the game through a perfectly taken free kick at the edge of ICAS box. Well, it's a good one for them. The final comes up today. That's at the University of Ibadan with Brightview College locking horns with Aberdeen College. I love the fact that the Principal's Cup is marching on and we're trying to make
it's a good one, but there's a lot of story that surrounded that game.
Yes,
talking about Brightview against ICAS, because I was privileged to be there yesterday. And first off, the field in which those guys played were horrible. It was a very, very horrible pitch. And I don't expect, if you're organizing something of this nature, that it's been a while that you actually did it, you should be coming back with a bang, not with this kind of thing. But then,
are you expecting Manchester United?
No, we're not. But at least give them something to actually express what they can actually do. I mean, you can't be giving us.
Rome was not built in a day. We need to, give them the benefit of that. I understand what you're talking about. I know the kind of pitches are, available at that level. But then the kind of pitch you would expect at, the Premier League level is not the same you expect at the Championship. It's not the same you expect at Ligue 1. It's not the same you expect at League 2 level.
So you're saying we should actually accept anything that is actually wrong?
No, what I'm saying is growth is gradual. You need to follow a process. You wouldn't just expect them to play, a competition that we've not had for a long time in Principal's Cup at, standard or the, world-class facilities that you would expect at that level.
Say that is not the best we could have actually played yesterday.
Well, just like I said, it's a starting point.
You see,
I believe
indeed,
next year will be
it's a starting point indeed. And I'll be much more disappointed if we get to the national finals and you're seeing all those horrible pitches on screen, on horrible playing conditions.
We played somewhere in Lagos.
Okay, of course, to be played in Lagos, so you can expect that. Let's move on real quick from that to the NNL. Shooting Stars will be playing Osun United today. The tie was supposed to have been played yesterday, but it was moved to Thursday. Osun United, who are in a lot of trouble at this point, a lot of problems, but hopefully Shooting Stars might just compound their woes. Remember, they are unbeaten so far this season, and they are gunning for the NPFL promotion ticket. We hope that works out eventually. CAF Confederations Cup in Imba were in action yesterday against Al Ahly Benghazi in Group A opener, and they got their campaign to a good start. 2-1 they won in that game in Aba.
Yeah, we saw the game yesterday, and shortly before we came on air for Just Football, and I was saying that maybe if Imba were a little bit more clinical, they probably would have scored more goals in that game and put the game to bed earlier. The others are a little bit worried that there could be an equalizer, but then the guys from Libya also didn't put so much much fight and all that. The most important thing is getting the 3 points. Maybe our goal difference will come later, but then I'll get the 3 points, get all the points at home. That is one way to navigate continental competitions, talking about the African continent. Win all your games at home, then go away, get 1 or 2 points away, and definitely you'll be through to the next round. So I'm hoping that Enyimba, with their experience on the continent, maybe not in this competition, but in the other, the more advanced competition, talking about the CAF Champions League, should come up tops and do us proud, and maybe we'll probably come home with this title. Okay, well,
two-time African CAF Champions League winners, Enyimba, are attempting to be the first Nigerian side to win the CAF Confederations Cup. A result sees them moving top of Group A with ES Setif set to take on Orlando Pirates later today in the group's other game. They are going away to South Africa next Wednesday to take on Orlando Pirates. But here is Fatai Osho, the coach of Enyimba, reacting to the victory that he secured at home yesterday. Really, I'm wondering what you'd make of Fatai Osho's performances as Enyimba coach so far. But maybe that's what the discussion for today. But listen to him here.
Yes, I'm happy with the win, but even when you win 10 goals to nothing, there's always room for you to get better. They did very well inside this particular weather. It's really, we play against a formidable team, a strong team with character. They came all out. They believe in themselves that they can get something out of this place. But our resilience and ability to play as a unit also help us to some extent. And getting this draw is quite a good one for us. That's the way to go. And from there, we can start looking at next Wednesday in South Africa to consolidate on this one. Yes, we should try and respect the opposition. Anybody playing at this stage of the competition will not be there by element of luck. I would tell you that if we can win 2-1 or 2, we'll be champion of Africa. I would have been happy if it's more than that. I know that's where your question is. We have all it. People have scored more than that. But the conversion rate is still a little problem. But today, let's see how they enjoy this victory. We come back tomorrow and look at how we can get better going forward.
Make the most of the new normal with Nokia smartphones. Stay connected to friends and family with phone calls and video chats for longer with a 2-day battery life. And capture the beauty around you, snapping and sharing crisp pictures. The Nokia 5.4, 3.4, and Nokia 1.4 makes staying connected easier. Nokia smartphones. Trusted, always secure, and built to last.
Splash FM 105.5.
All right, welcome back. You're still tuning in and locked on to Splash 105.5 FM, and this is Sports Bang. Moving on away from Nigerian scene now. Starting off with Spain, Atletico Madrid defeated Athletic Bilbao 2-1 yesterday, and it was Luis Suarez's penalty that sealed the victory for the La Liga leaders, and they went 6 points clear in the title race. Good one for them. And in the Premier League, Manchester City returned to winning ways. They defeated Southampton 5-2, and that was in style. I mean, very, very commanding result there, and that moves them 14 points clear, top of the table. That's of the Premier League. Riyad Mahrez and Kevin De Bruyne scored twice. City delivered an emphatic and instant response to their defeat in Sunday's Manchester derby, which ended a 21-game winning run. And that's really, they might have won 5-2, but it ended in tears for many of us. FPL.
Yeah, obviously.
Those of us who are City players. I mean, I captained Stones, hoping that he would play this game. What a disappointment that was. I captained
someone.
I mean, I can't imagine. And to the UEFA Champions League, RB Leipzig crashed out. Liverpool won 2-0, 4-0 on aggregate. We were talking about playing at Anfield yesterday, sorry. They played at Bucharest, not at Anfield. And Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona played a 1-1 draw, and that led to 5-2 aggregate there for PSG. This is the BBC Premier League update. We return, we respond to that real quick, and talk about some UEFA Europa League games. Stick around.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm Paul Serres at the BBC Sports Centre. Liverpool beat RB Leipzig 2-0 on the night thanks to goals from Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah, and 4-0 on aggregate to progress into the quarter-finals of the Champions League. The former Reds defender Stephen Warnock co-commentated on the game for the BBC.
A good professional performance from Liverpool. I think Jurgen Klopp will be delighted that the effect that his forward three had on it. The big plus tonight, though, is the position of Fabinho, centre midfield, big performance from him tonight. Allowed the forward players to push on, allowed the midfielders to make forward runs, and brought a nice balance to this Liverpool team.
Manchester City bounced back from their derby defeat at the weekend in style, beating Southampton 5-2 in the evening's only Premier League match. Kevin De Bruyne and Riyad Mahrez both scored twice as City established a 14-point lead at the top of the Premier League table. The Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola was impressed with Southampton, particularly in the early stages of the match.
The first 15-20 minutes, we faced the best team we ever faced this season. The way they play was remarkable, incredible, good, what they do. I'm really impressed. So good, and and after today, won the quality of the players that we have. That was the difference today.
Saints boss Ralph Hasenhüttl said the league leaders had just too much quality for his side.
This is world class. I mean, what they do when they win the ball is fantastic. But I must say, I think we did what we can do today, and I think we wanted to be a strong opponent, and I think we have been.
And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Okay, we're reaching home stretch on Sports Bank this morning. Guys, quick reactions to the Champions League games played yesterday. Are we surprised with any of the teams who made it through to the next round?
No, not at all. You know, we saw the first leg results and we already knew that both teams probably will get through. But we're expecting one of those magical Champions League nights. And, you know, Barcelona, they gave a spirited display in the first half. You know, they had 9 attempts in the first half, but then they were not clinical. And then it was the undoing for them, Messi missing a penalty and also scoring a screamer anyway. But then, you know, PSG, they're through. I'm hoping that Mbappe will be able to do something for PSG right now.
I mean, just imagine Pochettino winning the Champions League. Okay, Europa League games later today. Arsenal against Olympiacos, Manchester United against AC Milan, Tottenham against Dynamo Zagreb. Just some of the big games coming up. I think I'm particularly interested about United and AC Milan.
Yeah, definitely I am too, especially knowing for the world that, you know, there won't be Zlatan in this particular one. So, you know, AC has a lot of work to do in this game. United are kind of in a huge form now, coming from that win against Manchester City. So they want to actually continue on that particular one. So, but I still believe that, you know, it's not going to be an easy walk in the park for Manchester United. They have to be very careful. This guy can stay hot them if they are not careful. So we are expecting a very, very much exciting, interesting game later
United
tonight.
won the Manchester derby. That's some confidence for them going into this.
Yeah, definitely.
And Arsenal, the revenge, Arsenal against Olympiacos.
Well, Arsenal
revenge mission.
Arsenal will be hoping that, affliction will not rise again.
The
second time. They'll be hoping that because Olympiacos knocked them out of the Europa League. They are turning to Europa League specialists now. I think about 4 or 5 straight seasons down in Europa League. And I think it's high time they get it, you know, on their cabinet. They need to win the Europa League. And the only way to do that is beating Olympiacos.
Okay, Semi Ogundipe on Facebook is asking me for the Shooting Star score. Well, they are playing today, so I can't tell you a score of a game that has not been played yet. So they are playing against Osun United today. That's the fixture for them there. Okay, before we leave, let me see some more comments on Facebook. This is from Ogundeji Tolulokwe. David says, good game from Barcelona. Just so unlucky with the missed opportunities. I'm not worried they are out. I'm just happy they played a good game. Barcelona fought hard, and he says, congratulations, PSG. Fasole Olumide says, good morning. This is my favorite sports program and radio station. Thank you so much. I said both teams were already gone yesterday on Just Football. Ronaldo and Messi have been phenomenal and nothing lasts forever. The world awaits the next superstars who are already emerging, it says. Again, Basunde says, I think both of them missed the opportunity to win the Champions League for the last time in their career because I don't see them winning it in the next 5 years. Fatukili Fem says, no one wins forever. Only God does. Thank you so much for being a part of Sports Bank this morning. We need to bounce out of the studio. Feromi, thanks for being here.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Faith, thanks for being here as well.
It's been a pleasure as well.
Tomorrow at 7:30, we'll be back with the Winning Friday edition of Sports Bank. I'm tempted to tell you about the number one question, but I won't. So you will squeeze me. My name is Blessing Fowowe. Have a great Thursday. Au revoir.
Here is
105.5.
Access.